So good last year in the fourth was because they have so many options when possessions, Steve, start getting critical and the game is tight.
Well, no question. You got Parker to create off the dribble. You can always throw it into the low post to Duncan. But on top of that, you've got a roster full of guys who understand how to play the game and know how to play each other. Just the experience that this group has gained together over the years, I think allows them to execute under pressure.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Here's Noah. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, the big thing with Noah, Kevin, is that he's a hustle player. He gets on the glass. He's a tremendous offensive rebounder, and his long arms allow him to block shots defensively, get out and cover pick and roll with those quick feet. So this is a player who does a lot of things well.
And that dedication also manifests itself on the court, Steve. I mean, Joe has said himself, hey, I don't have the most talent. So he's really embraced I'm going to work harder mentality.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Dion. Ginobili comes in for Leonard. And it's Bellinelli in for Green.
Well, the Bulls battled in last year's postseason. Got a Game 7 win in Brooklyn to sneak out of round 1 in what was one of the more interesting series of the first round, but then fell to the Heat in round 2. They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
And Dunleavy gets it to go in.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Well, that's important because this game, I think, is going to be decided by who controls the paint in crunch time.
And for the Bulls, no Rose the whole time, and they had questions constantly being asked if he would return, but the team came together, Steve, and showed the Bulls aren't just a one-man show.
They missed him, though, Kevin, desperately. I thought they performed admirably, but they really needed him against the Heat. They were able to steal Game 1 in that Eastern Conference semifinal matchup, but without him, the Bulls just didn't have enough firepower to beat Miami. And the defense paying instant dividends, fast break basket.
Yeah, that transition was immediate. Didn't waste a second getting out on the break.
Mike Dunleavy is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Parker outside.
They're going a little bit cold from the outside right now, trying to cut into this deficit. So when that happens, you still got to take good open shots on the perimeter when you get them, but you also have to get the ball inside some.
Feels like a flip has been switched at halftime because both teams now really getting after it.
And it's been a fun half of basketball, Steve.
And offensively, a great show for the fan. Spend your... Now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
It was a beautiful pass, nice intelligent basketball. The execution was perfect, and that pass set up the open three.
The forward combination of Dunleavy and Gibson. DJ Augustine out there with Jimmy Butler, and it's Noah in at the pivot spot manning the middle. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Got a piece of it. Here's Parker, laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Parker's got the first basket as we get going in the 4th for San Antonio. Here's Dunleavy. The basket is good. The assist from Augustine. Augustine's got 6 assists in the game. Parker passes the splitter. Outside, Bellinelli, and it's good.
Well, lazy defense, and that's why the score is what it is right now.
Chicago leading. Augustine dishes to Gibson. And that one's good by Noah. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 10 rebounds. San Antonio calls timeout.
The Spurs have always been very mindful of resting key players during the regular season. Some of it has to do with age of their players. Some of it is regarding talent because they knew they were a playoff team most years. And you look at the research, there is something to be said for not playing guys when they're fatigued because injuries are more likely if you play tired.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. He talked about their problems at the free throw line, but tried not to make too big a deal out of it. He said, listen, if we keep getting to the line, the ball will start going through the net. The important thing is keep getting there. Maybe that'll take a little pressure off them, guys.
Second half hasn't exactly gone according to plan for him. He only had 1 turnover in the first half, but that number is growing much bigger now in the second.
Leonard kicks to Parker. That's good. And back to the Spurs and their strategy of resting their star players, not without some controversy. The NBA, as you may recall, fined the Spurs and Coach Popovich for sitting all their starting players for a nationally televised game back in November.
Well, it was their 4th game in 5 nights, and Pop wanted to rest some of their guys because of just the nature of their schedule. But I think the problem was he didn't give the league advance warning. In that game against Miami, when he rested those 3 players, he actually sent them home. And I think that was a little shot at the league. And that's why there was a problem, and that's why the Spurs and Popovich ended up getting fined.
Free throw, good Butler.
Just a fantastic game for Butler. 15 points, and the steals are starting to pile up for him also.
They sure have, and clearly he's gotten in their heads because of it, Clark. Guys are looking over their shoulder now, always worrying about where he is.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
Hey, people had no idea, guys, how the Bulls were going to do last season dealing with the Rose injury, but they showed very quickly that they're going to be a team in the hunt, and they were still going to be hard to beat at home.
Unable to get the ball in bounds, they get called for the 5-second violation. Green gets a screen from Diaw, and they take the lead. And the Spurs lead by 1. And back to the Bulls at the United Center that Clark was just mentioning, 24-17 here in this building a year ago. And even though, Steve, they didn't have a lot of high-flying highlights here, they knew how to close out games.
Well, they defend, and that's the main thing. If you want to finish and close out games, you have to be able to defend and rebound. And that's what Tom Thibodeau's teams are always all about, and this year is no exception.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Tom Thibodeau was giving to his team. He thinks they could be doing much better work on the defensive glass, and he let his guys know it. He wants to see them crash the boards hard from this point forward. Gentlemen, some late-game adjustments that could prove crucial in the game's closing moments. Kevin, over to you.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Splitters checked in for Boris Diaw. Got a piece of it. The drive by Green, and he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
And they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well. Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket. On time and on target.
Pass to Duncan. And Duncan gets double-teamed. Parker, right side. There's the pass to Splitter. Back to Parker. Misses the 3.
You've got to like what they've been doing down there in the low post, Clark.
I love it. Their rebounding has been outstanding. So important in a tight game.
Good solid defense on the perimeter. They're challenging the shot and not fouling.
Even the best shooters can be bothered by his defense.
And here we go. The Bulls fast break, and Boozer throws it down.
Well, you talk about clutch plays, defensively and offensively. We saw both right there.
Well, neither team can afford mistakes. You have to manage the clock and play smart here in the waning moments. What a beautiful play inside, using that height advantage to just lay the ball up and in when they really needed a basket.
tries to save it, and so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here.
Yeah, so close to picking that pass off, guys.
At least he got a hand on it. He did what he needed to do to make sure it didn't hit the target.
Here's Heinrich. It goes straight through with the switch.
It was almost like he was surprised to be that wide open, yet he knocked it down.
Here's Splitter. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that. And the Spurs lead by 4.
And yeah, they're moving the ball now. 8 of their last 10 points coming off assisted buckets.
Steve, nothing makes a coach smile as much as pure, selfless teamwork.
San Antonio's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Now it's a 6-point Spurs lead.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
Leonard with the steal. Here's Green. But they'll get another chance.
There's another opportunity, and everything's going right for these guys.
Bulls have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. Strong work at that end of the floor.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at him.
Splitter passes to Parker. Duncan with it. He's picked up by Dang. And stolen by Butler.
Well, it's going to be tough for them, but you have to continue to compete. It's not over. Just play, see what happens.
Yep, you can't afford empty possession.
I have no idea why he was fouling there.
And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. That's a meaningless play.
Spurs making a switch here. Ginobili's checked in. And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. He's able to hit the second one, and that brings them within 5.
Yeah, disappointing trip to the line, even though it was just one miss. Now is not the time to be missing free throws.
Stolen by Boozer. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Money! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
There's the dish to Ginobili. It's hauled in by Noah.
Like he's just trying to showcase his range, but he could probably get a better shot in that possession.
Yeah, he sure could. It doesn't do you any good if you miss it from that deep.
That is a clutch shot if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, very gutsy there. What more can you say? He got it done at the best time.
They double him with Butler. Splitter dishes to Leonard. Trying to find Parker. He's got it now. It's stolen by Heinrich. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Oh, hammered! And he'll go to the line. It's on Kawhi Leonard. He knocks down the clutch free throw. Can't knock it down, and they really needed that one.
They should be in front right now, but he'll be relieved not to have come up totally empty there.
And Kirk Heinrich picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Parker kicks to Leonard. Stolen by Boozer. Into Noah. Money!
Boy, their defense making an impact here late, Kevin.
And straight off the steal, Clark, a perfectly run fast break ends in a slam dunk.
That could be a huge 4-point swing in this game.
Stolen by Noah. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop. The clock here.
Yeah, no question the right call at this point. You can't let them just dribble it out.
That's right. I mean, you've got to send them to the line and hope for a few misses.
Gets the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. second free throw. No good that time. He really wanted that one. And so the big win by Chicago in a tight game. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail biter.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were able to come up with big plays down the stretch, and that's the difference.